Hello students, I am Dr. Meenakshi Mahur, Assistant Professor Zoology, Sri Samlaji Government College, Mandafia, Chittagong. Today my topic is eutrophication. What is eutrophication? Eutrophication is the natural phenomenon which involves gradual enrichment of nutrients and development of aquatic organisms in a lifeless water body. It causes structural changes to the ecosystem. The word eutrophication is derived from the Greek word eutrophic, which means well nourished or enriched. Addition of phosphates, nitrates, organic matter, etc. from domestic waste or any other waste into the water body stimulates the algal growth, and it leads to overabundance of algae and aquatic plants in water bodies. With this addition of nutrients, algal blooms starts forming. Algal blooms are floating scarps or blanket of algae. It leads to the depletion of oxygen level in lakes, rivers, and affect aquatic animal and plant diversity. Due to this nutrient enrichment, the productivity of lake and pond or any other water body get increased and water bodies become highly productive or eutrophic. Now, types of eutrophication. Eutrophication might occur naturally or due to human impact on the environment. So it can be natural or cultural. The process of lake aging characterized by nutrients enrichment due to natural reason is natural eutrophication. Cultural eutrophication occurs when human increases soil erosion, introduce excess quantities of sewage, industrial waste, or fertilizers runoff. It in turn accelerates the aging of lake. And this form of eutrophication is man-made and called cultural eutrophication. It is one of the leading causes of aquatic ecosystem degradation. Now, trophic classification of a lake or water body on the basis of productivity due to availability of organic material and nutrients. A lake or any water body can be eutrophic, oligotrophic, mesotrophic, and dystrophic. Now I'll explain these lakes one by one. So first is eutrophic lake or water body. They are shallow water bodies which contain high amount of organic materials and nutrients. Nutrients means nitrogen and phosphorus. These water bodies have a high level of biological activity. They have a very little transparency due to the dense growth of algal blooms, and they have a little oxygen because decomposers rapidly use it up. Uh, in these type of lakes, chironomus larva is very common. Example of eutrophic water body is Dal Lake of Kashmir. Now, oligotrophic water body or lakes. These are deep water bodies or lakes. They have a less amount of organic materials and nutrients. The water of these water bodies is usually quite clear because of the limited growth of algae and any other aquatic organisms. These type of lakes are usually found in cold regions of the world. Now, mesotrophic water body or lake, they are with intermediate level of productivity because of the availability of intermediate amount of organic material and nutrients. Means they don't have a much organic material and nutrients and not a less amount of these materials. They are with usually clear water but with submerged aquatic plants. Now, dystrophic water body or lake, These water bodies have maximum amount of uncomposed organic matter, and they are with excessive plant and algal growth because of the high supply of growth nutrients. Example of dystrophic water body or lake is a marshy lakes. You have seen that marshy lakes are not so clear. They are with uncomposed organic matter. Now, effects of eutrophication. When the eutrophication phenomenon becomes particularly very intense, undesirable effects and environmental imbalances are generated, and they cause deterioration of water quality. First, it will be responsible for increased biomass of phytoplanktons, blooms of gelatinous zooplankton, and biomass of benthic and epiphytic algae. Because of the depletion of oxygen level in water body, it badly affects the aquatic organism and fishes. Because algal blooms compete with other aquatic plants for light for photosynthesis. Hence, there is a depletion of oxygen level in water body. The decay of aquatic plants, decomposition of algal blooms, they all are responsible for depletion of oxygen dissolved in the water. And in turn, it leads to increase in carbon dioxide levels and then affect the aquatic organisms and fishes. Uh, these eutrophic water acquires disagreeable odor or taste. Actually, algal bloom is responsible for production of foul smell in water bodies, and in turn, it makes water unfit for human consumption as well. Under anaerobic condition in water bodies, many pathogenic microorganisms began to grow, and it leads to spread of many waterborne diseases like viral hepatitis, cholera, typhoid, diarrhea, etc. Algal blooms also release some toxic chemicals, and it can kill aquatic organisms. Eutrophication also uh, mm, responsible for excessive plant growth in water body and increases the alkalinity of water. Eutrophication also decreases water transparency, that is increased turbidity. It also reduces the aesthetic quality of water body. Sometimes algal growth may also clog pipes and also interferes with fishing and navigation. Eutrophication may also affect the recreational use of rivers and lakes. Now, there are also some methods by which we can stop or reverse eutrophication. The main control mechanism of eutrophication process is based on prevention techniques. If we prevent lakes to become eutrophic, we can stop eutrophication. We can do this by removing nutrients and organic matter from water bodies, or there are so many methods by which we can remove these nutrients or waste from water. So how can we stop or reverse eutrophication? We will see in this slide. First, to limit the nutrient input, the wastewater should always be treated before it's discharged into the water body. Tertiary treatment system can be installed in order to reduce nutrients concentration. There is a need to improve purifying performance of wastewater treatment plants. There are also some effective filter ecosystem like phytopurification plant, which we can implement to remove nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus, which are present in runoff water. Agricultural techniques should also be rationalized through proper planning of fertilization. In order to disrupt algal food web, bacterial multiplication can also be stimulated. It will reduce the amount of nutrients solubilized in water body. Dissolved nutrients can also be removed by physical or chemical methods. I can explain one example over here. Dissolved nitrogen in water body can be removed by biological nitrification, denitrification, electrodialysis, and ion exchange methods. Copper sulfate is also used to kill algae. Now, last method is oxygenation of water. It can be done to restore the ecological conditions. It will also reduce the negative effects of eutrophic process. So, prevention is better than cure. So, if we prevent rivers to become eutrophic, we do not have to put much effort. So, try to clean our environment and try to stop eutrophication. Eutrophication is also important part of our life cycle, but if it is intense, then it becomes problem for not for only human being but for aquatic and aquatic animals and plants as well. So this is all about eutrophication. Thank you.